the right-wingers take over Germany's election. Today we discuss. So we had a general election in Germany on the past weekend, and the results have been, let's not say surprising, but they give you a lot to discuss. In this particular election, basically the right-wing political parties are the ones that took over the election, and the biggest losses came from the left-leaning political parties. First, let's explain for the people that are not from Germany how the politics in Germany works. And we had, unlike a country like the US, that you have a bipartisan dynamic, or another country that you have like a solid political party and maybe a couple of more hovering around. Well, in Germany, it's a free-for-all. You have several political parties, let's say close to 10 parties, that take a share of the general election. And also remember that Germany, since an European country, is a parliamentary representation system where basically you vote for the party and the party has a leader and they decide who is gonna win and who is gonna, represent the country. However, in Germany, what happens is that usually no political party has the majority in order to, create a government, so they have to do these particular coalition governments that gather, of course, more than 50% of the seats of the Bundestag, and that's, or Germany's parliament, and that's how you create a government. So the biggest winner on seats on this particular election, and with almost 30% of the votes, it's the CDU party, the Christian Democratic Union Party, that is led by this gentleman, Friedrich Merz, that has been a successful politician in Germany on the 80s and 90s. However, in the 2000s, he suffered a downfall thanks to the back then German's Chancellor Angela Merkel. Apparently, they were a political rival, something like that. So, and basically Merkel just pushed him away. However, he pulled off a significant comeback, and right now is most likely the man poised to become the next German Chancellor. And number two, with almost 21% of the votes, and the second biggest party regarding seats on the German parliament is the AfD party, the Alternative for Germany party. This is basically a brand new party, just a little bit over 10 years ago. And now with the leadership of this particular lady, Alice Weidel, that she is a contradiction on this political party, because this is the far right political party. And they, when we talk about a far right political party in Germany, we know what it means. But of course, this political party is not, it's not like that. Well, at least not all of his voters. But I mean, being serious, this political party, of course, is very extremist compared to, let's say, the consensus of political parties within Germany. And they are pushing, of course, things that are far right issues for their voters, like migration, also more conservative stance on different policies and so on. Remember that now Germany is a very, multicultural, more, free thinking, kind of a woke place or society right now. Well, it's up to debate. Now, the main point is that this political party, yes, they got second, and you might say, okay, maybe they can get a coalition with the CDU party. However, that is not going to happen because the CDU, the Christian Democrats, they are right wing, but they are more center right, and actually they want to put away, let's say, this particular right wing, far right political party. So apparently they are going to build a coalition with the center left political parties like that in order to get enough seats that they allow them to rule the country and pass the law. But let's see what happens. And of course, the biggest losers on such election were the Green Party, eco-socialism, things like that. They got a little bit over 11%. We got the hardcore left-leaning parties. They got around 8% of the total vote between some parties of this particular faction. And of course, the ruling party right now, the SPD, those are the Social Democrats, a very old school party in Germany, even before, that old school party. We know what we're speaking right now. Well, anyways, on the SPD, it was, of course, one of the worst political performance on an election. And immediately, the right now German Chancellor Olaf Scholz is saying, of course, he's apologizing for this performance and he will be stepping down. Another curiosity that happened during this election is this particular map, or of course, is the map of the voting process within Germany, and we can see a clear divide between East and West Germany. In case you don't know much about history, Germany was divided during almost half a century in East and West. The West, of course, the Western, capitalistic Germany, and the East, we had the Soviet Union controlled Eastern Germany, and of course the people from that region of Germany remember how bad was the Soviet Union, so they want, let's say, something completely different, and that can explain why the east side of the country voted way more in favor of the AFD party because they want the complete opposite of what they suffer back then. And on the western side of Germany, they voted majority for the CDU party. Why? Of course, they want some more moderate policies. They don't want to go back to, let's say, that particular period of history that is, let's say, the most popular period of history on History Channel, if you know what I mean. And that's what they want more. They want still right-wing policies, but, more moderate. Now, there are three main issues that the CDU, according to his representative, Frederick Merz, is poised to implement. The first one is immigration reform. This is one of the biggest issues in Germany. Many people in Germany are, let's say, not so much in favor of new migration. Remember that Germany is one of the biggest countries taking refugees from conflict nations like Syria, like Afghanistan, sub-Saharan Africa, and so on. And let's say the cultural fit hasn't been quite the best, and I'm gonna keep it like this. And that's why they want a reform. Just recently was a voting on the German parliament. Basically, they are gonna close the borders. No illegal is gonna enter on German borders. That might be an issue for the Schengen status, but still, this is gonna happen. The second issue regarding, the implementation of the CU party is the economy, that we know that Germany is not faring the best regarding economics. Germany, of course, has the third biggest economy in the world. However, way back compared to the second one, that is, of course, China, and got stagnated on the past 5 to 7 years. Germany depends a lot on the industrial capacity and high-end output of the industrial economy within Germany, of course. But several issues like inflation, also the energy supply that comes from Russia. That, of course, we know the war is not the same and has to be halted or has dwindled a lot and now it's more expensive. And right now, Germany needs more of an, let's say, energy independence and also improve their policies. That Germany also has gotten a lot of bureaucracy that hinders, the development of, new economic growth, new businesses, and so on. But the third thing that is quite surprising is they want independence from the United States. And this is a big issue because Germany, after World War II, US has been their biggest ally, the most important ally. However, right now, the situation with the US is not particularly the best. We have Donald Trump. He wants, let's say, stay out of Europe regarding NATO and things like that. He is pushing for the full contribution of the European members of NATO that have, had a lackluster contribution on the past, let's say, couple of decades. So the new party, the CDU, want to check that out. And also they want not only independence from the US, but also, let's say, have a harder stance against the EU policies from Brussels. Of course, this channel is about offshore affairs and how it can affect this particular new outcome of the election. Offshore affairs, if you're a traveler, an investor, or whatever might be the case. Well, Germany wasn't that big on for not for investors or travelers. I mean, love Berlin, love Frankfurt, but not my particular cup of tea. I think regarding migration, it's not going to change that much if you are from, let's say, a Western country. If you are, of course, you're a European citizen, it's not going to be much of a difference. And same if you are from the US or something like that. Germany actually has a decent legal migration system. Now, the illegal migration system, that's a completely different thing. And the other thing is investing in Germany, well, is something that unless it's on a particular niche or something like that, honestly, I don't see anything attractive unless it's, a very particular niche industry or something like that. For the rest, I don't see that, a big of a deal. So let's see what happens, and if something, remarkable happens in Europe for our affairs, we are going to have it here on the platform. Thank you for watching Continental Insider. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow us on social media, and if you want to work with us, continentalinsider.com. Thanks again, and have a nice day.